Hi, my name is Alexander and this is my BRZ. I've always been a Subaru enthusiast. I've owned a couple of Subaru myself and this is my first Subaru BRZ. Originally I bought this car in 2017 around October-ish. Then is the day that I got the delivery of the car. But originally I pre-ordered the car in the beginning of 2017 when this car first started producing this model of the car, so the facelift version of the BRZ. I previously owned a Subaru STI that I originally was going to exchange for this car, but I always wanted the new STI before I considered to buy this car, but it was so expensive at the time, so I just didn't even bother to try to go for it because it was so expensive. So this was my other option, and I've always loved the look of the car. So when I bought the car, the first thing I did, I was kind of broke because I used all my money to buy the car originally. So I started to decorate the whole interior. I took the whole interior apart, changed everything from the console, steering wheel, and yeah, just like I've always wanted to have like a good car that looks great on the inside and the outside, because the driver experience has always been like one of my favorite points. One of the first mod I did to the car was it really needed an armrest. So I bought the Toyota version of the armrest and it looks really good, really comfortable, and it has like the perfect reach for me. So I can use the center console with the cup holders and everything, and this is one of my favorite mods of the interior. And after that I changed the whole interior to carbon fiber because I love carbon fiber. I changed the center console, the vents, and the steering wheel, and a couple of other different like details here and there. And what I did also was there's a small pocket next to the push to start button, and it always missed some like little details. It was like a useless pocket in my opinion. So one guy that I know back in the United States, named Jeremy, he custom made a button for me and they look really good. And the buttons are specifically connected to different things. Like for my car, it's connected to the reverse camera, to the interior lights, and to my equipments like my radar detector and dash cam. And there's one currently not connected, which is going to be for LED light bar in the future. I also always wanted a steering wheel, like a race looking kind of steering wheel, and I hated originally how the car came with the silver trim. So I took all the silver trims that I couldn't find with carbon fiber and painted it black. So it all matched, like the whole interior is black and red currently. And I'm really happy how the interior looked when it turned out to be. So yeah, I think that's like one of the most things I have like focused on previously, but I'm really happy with it now. So after that, I started saving some money and started doing some mods on the exterior of the car. After the interior, I started focusing on the exterior a little bit. I was saving for a coilover and wheels. Well, before I bought wheels and coilover system, I originally wanted to change the headlights and change the fourth brake light. So what I did is I changed the whole look from behind. I'm gonna change the spoiler in the future and change a little bit more. But the first thing I did, I blacked out the emblems, as well as I got the number plate, the private number plate here in Iceland, the Valenti taillight, the new one with sequential turn signals, and also the fourth brake light with sequential as well. And it looks really good. But originally what I had to do, because this is the Euro version and US headlights, so I had to do like my own electric thing and connect them and like change the pins around, and that was kind of a hassle, but it turns out really good. So I changed also the fourth brake light so it's always connected, and I also have the Formula Style 1 brake lights as well. After that, I changed the exhaust. The exhaust I have currently on the car is the MPX Comp RS, and it's the catback version with the titanium tips. I've always loved the titanium tips because it matches the car really good. So I originally thought, like, should I go for a white body or should I go for something more subtle and clean? Here in Iceland it costs so much to like import items and specific items. So I thought before I go white body, I want something to give the car a little bit more look. And I've always loved like the Subaru BRZ TS look, but it was so expensive. So I went to the other option, which is the HP Autos. And I have the HP Auto side skirts and the lower rear, the side skirts and the spades. It's the same for the previous model and the newer model, but I had to buy a different front lip. And I bought that as well. I bought like a whole package together, as well as the diffuser. This is one of the original diffuser for the BRZ. I think you can buy this as optional for the GT86. I think for the BRZ as well. And the BRZ TS version comes with this diffuser, if I remember correctly. After that, I started saving some money and I bought and did a little bit more details to the car. I wanted like more of a blackout look, so to match the taillights and to match everything. So I did the roof as well as the mirrors. I changed the mirrors to carbon fiber, as well as like some accents to the car has carbon fiber on them. During the winter, not too long ago, I bought a coilover system, as well as a strut tower, a rear and front sway bar, as well as some bushings, lower control arm, and the wheels, of course. And the wheels that I have currently on the car is the XXR 527, and they're wrapped with the Michelin Pilot Sport 4. This is currently the 18 by 9.75 inch wheel with, I think, 235/40 R18s. That's the tires that I have. Currently, I haven't tracked the car yet, but this summer I'm gonna track the car a little bit. I'm really excited about it because I just, like, last week, I finished putting up the oil cooler. I have the Michimoto oil cooler in the car, and also changed the whole oil to Motul oil, and I'm really excited to try this car on the track. I've tried it a couple of times, like on the street and empty parking lots and in like the mountain area, and this car is amazing to drive. I've owned so many Subaru cars and I'm a Subaru enthusiast. I've owned GT, I've owned WRX, STI, Legacy, Outback. I've almost all owned the whole 9 yards. And this car, even though the engine and it lacks a little bit of power, it's so nice to drive. It's one of my favorite cars and by far the best looking car I've ever owned. On the front of the car, I haven't done that much. I have the blacked out side marker. This is the US edition with the amber lights. So I did the red accents in the front and the back. So the red accents is just like to mimic how the BRZ TS came originally. Just to match like the whole look of the car, I also took the lug nuts and everything, the stem valves to match the color of the car, and I'm really happy with the outcome. Like the bronze wheel comes really nice, like fits the color of the car really well, as well as just like, it's one of the, like, it's really cheap. And the reason why I went cheap with the wheels are mainly because this is just a temporary wheel. I want to be able to get the white body on the car later on, so then I want a 3-piece wheel most likely, or a 2-piece with a lip and everything. And the white body, there's nothing set on that, what white body is going to come. It's still like up in the air with that, but in the future this car is going to get a white body as well as a small upgrade with the turbo. I think the turbo kit is going to be the next upgrade to the car, probably going to be like later this year, because I have everything, all the driver mods needed and all the supporting mods needed as well. I have the oil cooler and everything ready to go. So I got my friend working with me on that with the turbocharger, and we're gonna do that later this Christmas, I think, about that time. But other than that, There's still a lot of things I'm probably missing here, like the mud flaps, the Rally Armor mud flaps. That was one of my first mod that I did to the car. I think it's like a common thing I do with all my Subarus is buy the Rally Armor mud flaps. I think it's like just a soupy thing, I don't know. And yeah, there's so many details in the car that I have changed, like the buttons in the car, the drift button, the headrest, also the seats and everything. There's so much like small details that I've done to the car, just like for myself, just like I wanted to have it to look nice for me, and I'm really happy with it. There's still a lot of things I need to do to the car, and I want to do to the car. That's just something I'm gonna work on. This is my project car, and I really love it. The coilover system I have in the car is the Tane Flex A system. It's the Counter Space Garage spec, and it's a fully adjustable coilover system with the camber adjustment, fully adjustable, I think all the way down to almost 3-inch drop. I currently only have it at 1.1-inch drop from my original height, and it has the Flex A system, if I remember correctly, has a hydraulic bump dampener, so it like softens the ride a little bit. It dampens the ride when you go like through a pothole or something, so it doesn't like, it like has a little spring in it, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% sure on it, but it makes it like, it has the hydraulic or HBS system, which like makes the ride much softer.
I guess it wasn't to